Welcome to the first part of the Vow the Disciple Explained 100% Correctly series by Master Raider IR Conan. Today we're going to be covering just the introductory part of the raid and the very first encounter acquisition. So, when you load into the raid, enjoy the 30 frames per second cutscene. It's Bungie, this is always what they do. You're just going to load in right in front of some enemies. Don't worry too much about them, they're just trash ads. Ignore them, shoot them if you want to farm stats for your guns. You especially want to ignore the Savathun that's floating in front of the door. She's already dead, you killed her, this one's fake, and you're actually supposed to leave her alive for exactly 3 minutes and 13 seconds. So the reason for this is you're going to get an extra secret chest just beyond the first door. So it might seem killed her a little bit too fast, we didn't get the chest, but if this happens with you, you're still able to continue on afterwards. Go down the Sparrow route, make sure you take every right turn to get to the payload the fastest. So when you arrive at the payload, you want to kill the Scorn before they touch the payload, because if they do, it's going to be an immediate team wipe. This is going to be a constant throughout the entire first part. Really want to make sure that you kill the Scorn before they get too close. As you're killing them, these little funny orange light things are going to spawn. You have to pick up 3 of them and go into this building right over here. So based on the code that appears inside the doorway just after Savathun's Mirage disappears, which I wasn't able to show because my team ran past it and just guessed the code. You're going to want to shoot one of these 2 sets of 16 circles in the specific matching pattern that was inside the doorway. Doing that will get the payload to start moving quicker and it'll get you through the encounter faster. Really nice speedrun tip. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait to kill somewhere between 10 and 12 waves of Scorn to satisfy the payload enough to start moving again. So after the payload stops moving again, you're going to pick up a few more orange things, keep the Scorn away from the payload, and bank the orange things inside your nearest Titan player, and that will get the payload to move again. Next area is very simple, just crowd the payload with as many teammates as possible and it'll just start moving on its own. Not much else to do here except prevent Scorn from touching the payload, and by extension your teammates that are crowding said payload. So once you've killed exactly 178 Scorn throughout the entire start of the raid, the payload will just make a beeline for the final area, the doorstep of the pyramid. You really want to make sure to keep up with it here since it moves much faster than Guardians can run, and it moves slightly faster than a 160 speed Sparrow. Once you're inside the pyramid, you'll be greeted with some museum displays of various creatures from the Borderlands series. It's really cool, take a look around, but you want to make sure that you don't make any noise like shooting your guns or casting your supers. If you do, it's a team wipe. You're supposed to be quiet in museums, this is no different. Keep going and you'll end up at the area for the very first encounter acquisition. Make sure you drop the raid banner in the air, because if you put it in the ground it's a cursed run you're not going to finish. And the very first thing that you want to do is head up to this area over here, shoot this crystal floating in front of the statue, and this will open up a room with an on and off switch. You want to shoot the hexagon on the wall. That is the on and off switch for the obelisks in the first encounter, which I'll explain momentarily. And once you see the black swirl symbol appear, you can head back outside. So this right here is the general outlay of the entire map. You'll notice that we have it split into 3 sections. We call them North, South, and West, but you can number them off or however your fire team wants to manage the map callouts. This is just my clan's way of doing it. And these over here are the obelisks and the towers. You'll see throughout the encounter that symbols will appear on them. I will explain later on what to do with those and what those symbols are called. Plus, if there are any hunters that get too close to the obelisks, you want to make sure that you shoot them to prevent the obelisks from getting too angry and causing a team wipe. These are the rooms, and there's plenty of them scattered across the map. Their organization and what symbols are above them don't matter too much, because it is really up to you individually if you want to go inside the rooms or stay outside. It is only a matter of personal preference, the rooms don't have any particular role in the encounter. I personally like staying outside because I already spend too much time inside playing Destiny 2 in real life. This middle area has the darkness crystal that starts the encounter when you shoot it, and there are also these 4 symbols on the walls surrounding the darkness crystal. These and every other symbol are extremely important throughout the raid, so I will go over each of the symbols individually, just rapid fire off their names. I'll include a graphic including all the names, so that you have a quick reference when you run the raid yourself. There are Disneyland teacups, Sukabliat, Vex Milkers, Illuminati, Black Swirl, C2C Delta, Moonbase Alpha, Pants, Mars. I got shot. He's missing his middle fingers, so please give them back so he can flip people off. Resmi, I have a ray gun. Widow's Wine.
Boom! Headshot!
Gay Agenda. Probably a rose. I don't really know my flowers. I didn't study those in school. Taken King. Beyond Light Expansion Deluxe Edition. A stop sign. The Destiny 1 Tower.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky!
I swear I've actually never seen this symbol before in my life. I don't know how it ended up on this list. It wraps around you. Praise the sun. Operator. So just a side note, ignore the chat in the bottom corner. Me and my clanmates just like trolling each other by typing absolute nonsense in chat. So anyways, make sure that you watch out for unstoppable champions and barrier champions throughout the encounter. So you're going to want to make sure to put anti-barrier and anti-unstoppable mods on your arms. Now I'm going to explain how you actually read the obelisks and their symbols. So the obelisks are actually very self-conscious about their appearance, and they're going to need our help to become not ugly, but pretty. So each obelisk will have different sets of symbols, and they fill up as you kill Scorn around the map. Once all three are filled up, you're going to want to figure out which of the three obelisks is far uglier than the other two. So when your team figures out which one that is, you want to have the people standing next to it shoot all of the ugly symbols off, and the obelisks will reward you for making them look less ugly. Here you see that the obelisk I was standing next to was the final ugly one, so we shoot it together because this is a raid and you need teamwork. After you make all the obelisks pretty, you'll be doing 2 sets of all 3 obelisks. You'll know when you're done because the music stops. You can just head on to the second encounter. One of the doors will open and you'll realize it's actually just a gate to a new area. You want to watch out for the chest-like object that spawns. It'll only just drop you Glimmer, so you can skip this chest if you're already full on Glimmer like I am. You want to make sure to give an offering to the Long Star horses outside, and you can continue on through the museum. So that'll be it for the first encounter. You're now all experts at acquisition. You can acquire all of the Glimmer, all of the raid loot, and all of the bitches. So make sure that you stay tuned for the second encounter, which will be coming very soon. Have a nice day. Good night. Gay agenda? This is gonna take me so many tries. Okay, here we go. Start recording.
You should have a bloopers reel and see how many times it takes you to go through the gay agenda.
I got this. Okay. Okay.